They tacked Megas on right at the end just to keep people happy. Megas are good. The problem is games aren't difficult. You know, before they introduced Megas, you can probably find me saying this in some of my older Pokemon playthroughs if you dig back through those. Before they introduced Megas, I always liked the idea of a fourth evolution. I didn't want a Mega Evolution necessarily. But they've retconned so much other shit that they've said before, like legendaries don't have evolutions. So they could retcon the 3 evolution thing if they wanted to, you know, just as easily. But if they wanted to make their games bigger and longer, which I know they're not a fan of because that means more work. Not that they're not, you know, opposed to work. They've made a lot of changes from game to game. But if they wanted to make their games longer, slap on a 4th evolution at like level 60. What? Isn't that what level you are when you're normally beating a regular game? Instead of, you know, having that be the end point of the game, have that, you know, you keep going. But at level 60, like it's just Charizard picks up another evolution. You know what I mean? At level 60, Charizard snags something, right? He becomes, you know, Charizardian or something. I don't know what the fuck his evolution name would be, but all these Pokemon with 3 Evos, just get another one. You know, get some really, really strong Pokemon you don't find till late game that don't have an evolution. Stuff like that. You say it in an Emerald playthrough? I think I've said that in more than one playthrough. I just know before X and Y came out, before Megas existed, that was an idea that I was tossing around that I thought would have been neat. And I mean, they kind of did it, but not really, because they just Mega right away. With the stone, it just takes up an item slot. Ah, Johto music, best music. Pokemon is a game aimed at children. That's why the games aren't difficult. I mean, Pokemon was a game aimed at children in Gen 2 and Gen 4. Maybe not Gen 4 itself, but the Gen 2 remakes get pretty difficult. Pokemon was a game aimed at children in Gen 3. And Gen 3 fucking sucked with difficulty. Gen 3 was hard, man. Gen 3, I got caught in Gen 3 more than I got caught in any of the Pokemon game. And I was like half experienced. When I was a kid, like I get stuck all the time in Gen 1, right? Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't read anything. I was just pushing shit, right? I would have my Charizard. By the end of the game, my Charizard would have all the HMs. My Charizard would know Fly, Strength, Cut, and maybe Flamethrower if I didn't put another HM on him, right? I don't know what I was doing. So it made sense I got stuck all the time in Gen 1, even though Gen 1 is somewhat difficult in places. In Gen 2, I would get caught on Whitney. Morty would sometimes give me a little trouble. And that was about it. Maybe the Elite Four, maybe not. And then Red. Red at the end was always a pain, because you got to grind for Red, right? But then Gen 3 hits, and oh my fucking god, I'm struggling on Brawly. I'm struggling on the Altaria, whatever the fuck it's called, the flying bird dragon with the blue head, blue penis head. That thing ruined me. I fucking hated that thing. That thing would kill me every time. I didn't know what to do about that shit. The Elite Four, maybe not, yeah. Near the Elite Four would start to stump me too. The Elite Four was real solid. Because I played Ruby. I didn't go catch fucking Rayquaza and be like, Rayquaza, help me murder the Elite Four with ease, because you're the most broken Pokemon ever made. I didn't have that luxury. I was fucking going to Ruby with no Rayquaza. The Elite Four would fuck me up. Gen 3 was my bane. That was the one that held me back. I don't think that's the reason I dislike it today, because like I said, I get by it. You know, I get by it just fine now. I know what I'm doing, but yeah, that's what's up. That's what's going on with that. Gen 4 Elite Four wasn't all that bad. It was Cynthia. To people who have played both, hopefully recently, is Gen 2 harder or the Gen 2 remakes harder? Gen 2 or Gen 2 remakes? Gen 3 is a lot like Dark Souls. Yeah, Gen 3 is a lot like Dark Souls. A lot of people overlook that. Let me put this item on. Whoever told me about that initially, thank you, by the way. I wouldn't have thought of it. There we go. And now I can fly back. Now I can fly back over, finish knocking out the rest of the gyms without worrying about all that experience share BS. Dark Souls difficulty is based off Gen 3, I'd believe it. Why am I here? See, you'll occasionally have people who like didn't struggle because they just happen to like, or they just happen to pick up Pokemon that wouldn't hit the gyms. Like, to this day, if you ever talk to Alpha Dragon, he'll still say that Whitney wasn't hard. Alpha Dragon to this day is one of the only people I know who will just tell you every time, like, oh yeah, even the very first time I played ever, Whitney wasn't hard. But then he'd also talk about how he always picks up a Nidoran, and the Nidoran would become a Nidorino and no double kick. and Nidorino and no double kick by the time he got to Whitney, so he would double kick Whitney to death before Whitney could kill him. And it's like, well, that's why you didn't struggle on fucking Whitney. You had a Nidorino with double kick every goddamn time. You're the only guy who does that. Stop. I'd like difficulty settings like hard and very hard in the games. I think Black and White 1 or 2 had that, and people didn't like it. Because the harder difficulty just means you're going to be grinding a lot more. That's really all it boils down to. Remake for Gen 2 was harder, and OG Silver, I just walked all over everyone with my over-leveled Feraligatr. Anybody else weigh in on anything? Gen 2 was definitely harder. Regular 2, I think. Gen 2's harder. Remakes had higher levels, but better Pokemon. Remakes had higher levels, but I believe the remakes also had more shit involved, didn't they? Is there anything like Fire Red and Leaf Green they did? Because in Fire Red and Leaf Green, they give you all this extra shit. So there's just extra places to level up in Gen 2. Like, the Pokemon are better, but you get to level up a lot more. Kimono Girls fucked you, really? Did you get there early or something? I never had a problem with them because they always had one Pokemon. And as long as your team was half diverse. Even if your team wasn't diverse, like if you just leveled up your starter, like if you just had a Typhlosion, he might struggle with Vaporeon, but that'd be it, right? Did original Gen 2 have Kanto? Why I live stream this, people? Why we keep Twitch chat here? A rusted one, buddy. Wrong place, wrong time, my guy. My dude. You know? It's just not your day. Oh, it's okay, man. Shit happens. Oh, shit. That is a classic. I hope I'm laughing with you. Because if you're not laughing, then I'm laughing at you, and that makes me a dick. Somebody banned me. Holy fuck, I'm gonna have a seizure. Oh, beautiful. I'm standing in Celadon. Any other game, like, any other place it would have been okay, but I'm standing in Celadon. I just flew there. I gotta switch out? Fucking that's okay, I never took out Barted. Did original Gen 2 have Kanto, though? I get where he was coming from. I get where he was coming from, though. Okay? Because we were just talking about the remakes having extra shit like Fire Red and Leaf Green. Fire Red and Leaf Green had these 3 whole islands. 3 entire islands that were never in the OG, right? And I believe it also had an extra area on top of the 3 islands. I might be wrong about that. My nose is bugging me, sorry. I believe it also had an extra area on top of the 3 islands. Yeah, there's a gym here in Celadon. Celadon's the one with the big-ass Mart take sheet. Shit, where did I go? Celadon's the one in Gen 1 with this big-ass Mart here. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, the original Fire Red and Leaf Green had these 3 whole islands that just didn't exist in the original. So when he's thinking of extra areas, I'm sure that's what he meant, but no. Honestly, if Gen 2 didn't have Kanto in it, I don't know if it would be my favorite. It'd probably still be my favorite out of the OG 3, to be honest. It would definitely need more in actual Gen 2 because you're beating the Elite Four level 45-ish, level 40 to 45 with most of your Pokemon. That's a little low for me. But assuming there's a little bit more to Gen 2 when they didn't add Kanto, it probably... I probably wouldn't like Pokemon nearly as much as I do today. That's just such a ringer for me. I don't know. What the fuck am I doing with my goddamn life? I'm leading with Thundershot. We have the experience share on now, so we can just let Dracozaur just mow down everything. Just fire up the lawnmower, because we're mowing today. I gotta go back to, I'm gonna go back and buy charcoal for Dracozaur. Because why haven't I had charcoal on Dracozaur this whole time? I killed you with Swift. That's how useless you are. I didn't let Monopoly evolve. God. I gotta look out. I really gotta look out for that because I don't have an Everstone on him. Shouldn't have swifted. It was dumb of me to swift. I knew his defense was better than that. Also, I'm surprised Flame Wheel killed. Probably should use Fire Punch. Stop abusing fast forward for the no-name fights I do every time. That's every playthrough. I abuse fast forward that stuff. I haven't been doing it that much this session, but I've been having a really chill session just talking to you guys. Having a good time. Why didn't you teach Typhlosion Thunder Punch? I probably should have. I got the move slot for it, but I have Thundershot. I have a shiny Raichu. Cover all that electric stuff. Pokerust was a thing in Gen 2. That's when it got introduced. I remember I got it once, and I had no fucking clue what it was. I was like, why does my Pokemon have a red dot by its name? I had absolutely no idea what Pokerust was. Yeah, I could have given him Thunder Punch. I just didn't. That good on him? What does it give him? He gets Flying type. I guess Water type coverage too, but I'm not going to have him out against the Water type Pokemon anyway. Oh, did somebody get an Arustodorn quote in there? Did we quote Arustodorn on that one? An instant classic. Alright, Monopoly leveled up, so I can't, can't fast forward through the end of this. Monopoly will try to evolve. Oh, how cute. It's trying to solar beam me. Later, bitch! Plus, Typhlosion could have taken that to the face, but don't be that. What is this, Gen 3? Good night, Dracozaur. Monopoly stopped evolving. Rainbow badge. Giga Drain. You can learn Giga Drain? No. $44, only 6 levels. I screenshotted the zoom in of Kanto and my message and the quote, sticking that in the folder file for life. Hey man, it happened. Somebody's gonna lick my balls. Bum, bum, bum. This is gonna be on YouTube, don't worry. That screenshot will be there for life. Yeah, true. I'm not evolving Monopoly. So he's level 44 now. If I leave him as a Larvitar until 50, he'll learn Earthquake. If I evolve him to a Pupitar, he'll learn Earthquake at like 54 or something like that. And then if I let him become a T-Tar, he'll learn Earthquake at 57 or 60. So if I just keep him as a Larvitar till 50, he'll learn Earthquake a lot faster. I don't have the TM. I got an experience share on him now. I don't have the TM Earthquake to give to him anymore because I already gave it to my Donphan. That's where that is. Why we gotta let him learn it naturally. But I figured If I just let him evolve at 50, I might be able to fight Red at 50. I'm about to go look up Red's levels. I want to say his Pikachu is 6. That's the highest level one. But I want to say all of his Pokemon are damn near level 60, and I don't want to get fucking steamrolled by Red. And I'm iffy with this team because I went with... I don't know, I'm iffy with this team. I'll leave it at that. I feel like this team's got a weak spot in it somewhere. It's probably going to be Weeb Slayer being the only one knowing Ice Punch, and his Ice Punch not being that strong. Pikachu's 88? Are we thinking of the remake? Are we thinking of the remakes? 88 sounds crazy high. No, no. That's the remakes. That's the remakes. You're thinking of the remakes, my good guy. That's where he's 88, because there's extra shit to do. Oh, what the fuck? He's... Okay, he's 81. It's 81 in this game. Oh, I was way off. I normally like have my Pokemon around level 60 for this fight. I'm still severely underleveled. 81 Pikachu, 73 Espeon, 75 Snorlax, and then 77's Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise. That's way higher than I thought. I thought they were in the 60s for some reason. They were on 60. Well, no wonder I grind my Pokemon up to level 60. I thought I'd be like, everybody's 55. Let's do this. 81 Pikachu. 81 Pikachu is going to get fucking annihilated by Diamond Cutter. There's no other way that that goes. Diamond Cutter will destroy this thing, okay? T-Tar would also destroy this, like, also not even a thing. It knows Quick Attack, Thunderbolt, and Thunder. And it also knows Charm. Charm would be a pain in the ass, but whatever. Like, Donphan will shit on it. Donphan can kill that thing now, without issue, right? Espeon's gonna be a bitch. Espeon's gonna be a pain to handle. I have my own Espeon. The advantage Spandau has is Spandau knows Bite. Actually, I take that back. Espeon's not going to be a bitch at all to handle because we're going to have a goddamn T-Tar. We're going to have a Dark-type T-Tar. And he knows Crunch. So never mind. Espeon's not going to be an issue. And if Espeon somehow does get through T-Tar with Mud Slap or some dumb shit, Espeon's going to get annihilated by our Spandau, who also knows Bite. Even if we're under-leveled, as long as it doesn't, like, one-hit Oko crit Psychic us, we're going to be fine. Snorlax, I kind of got to rely on T-Tar for Snorlax. I think I'm going to rely on T-Tar for Snorlax and or Diamond Cutter if he's still around. Because Weeb Slayer knows Submission, and Submission will fuck him up because Weeb Slayer's got a really high attack. Decently high attack. But it hurts Weeb Slayer to do it. And I need Weeb Slayer alive for Charizard. Because I got nothing for this fucking Char. Well, I take that back. I got Thundershot. Thundershot for Blastoise. Thundershot also for Charizard if need be. And we're going to let Dracozoa just murder Venusaur. That's how that's going to go. I think the reason Red's usually so hard is because I normally don't have an answer for Espeon. But I have an answer and a half for Espeon this time. T-Tar full stops Espeon. And if by some miracle Espeon gets around that with Mud Slap bullshit's the only thing I can think of. Then we've got our own Espeon that knows Bite. And Bite, as long as it doesn't one-shot us, then Bite will kill it. I think that's what normally gives me... And Snorlax. Snorlax can run through a team, too. Snorlax can fuck a team up. He knows Snore. Body Slam's the big one, I mean. But yeah, for Snorlax, between T-Tar, Diamond Cutter, assuming even one of them's alive, and Weeb Slayer, I should be able to take out Snorlax. Dracozoa would Dig, if need be. That's really my only other option. Find like 200 rare candies, you'll be good. Yeah, if only. Venusaur just gets destroyed by Dracozoa, by Typhlosion. That's not an issue. Charizard might be a pain. Charizard's the last one he sends out. And then Thundershot should be able to handle Blastoise. Thundershot should be able to handle Blastoise. He'd have to live a Surf or a Blizzard. And that can get kind of rough. You know, we want to make sure he's got the health and defense to live that, because as of right now, he wouldn't. But that's the only thing. Thing is, like, there's a lot of ways we can get lucky, too. Blastoise has Rain Dance, which would let Thundershot just use Thunder. And Venusaur has Sunny Day, which would let Dracozoa just burn him to death. Dracozora's going to learn Flamethrower eventually. Still waiting on that one. I don't give two shits. And when you're trying to have a super epic battle, then they use a potion. That's part of the reason why I dislike Gen 3. In Gen 3, like, all the trainers are set to mega spam potions, which is real annoying.